3, 2, 1.
My name is Tony Thomas, and you're watching Hardwired Exotics on YouTube.
We about to turn it on.
And we're off and going. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Zach and his amazing friends. Our staple guest, Craig.
That's me.
And today we are talking to Tony from your good friend.
Yeah, Hardwired Exotics.
Hardwired Exotics.
It's my good friend Tony from Hardwired Exotics.
He left out. Y'all have my shirts on and I don't.
You brought it for me and you were doing the recording, so I figured why not wear it.
I have an extra one or something if you want, but I can just wrap a snake around your neck, whichever you prefer.
I'm a fat kid, so those sizes don't fit.
That's right.
No, Craig, how did you meet up with Tony? How long have you known?
Oh, I've known Tony since he's been a little kid. I've known Tony since he's been a little kid riding, what was it? He would rollerblade around and had a little dog following him around everywhere. Yeah. So we pretty much grew up together.
In Millen.
In Millen.
In
Millen City, Millen.
Yeah, so how did Hardwired Exotics come about? Like what piqued your interest in this? Is this something you've always been interested in with reptiles, or how did you start?
Well, I've always wanted reptiles. I've had that desire for it, but my parents just would not allow me to keep reptiles. I was lucky if I got a dog, maybe a hamster, but that's about as far as
So it was birthed out of pure rebellion.
Probably so. I mean, if you really want to know the truth of it, probably so.
But yeah,
I love animals, just in general. I love animals. And I actually started breeding dogs, started breeding pit bulls mainly. I bred several different species, but I don't know. There's always been a fascination for, I can have a pet. I can have an animal that I love and cherish, and I can use that animal to make more animals that somebody else can enjoy, and love. And I've done an interview with Justin Kabelka, JKR Reptiles, I don't know, probably a little over a year ago, and he made up a good point that I never really thought about. It's just some people are born with that instinct to just want to breed animals, and I think that I probably was born with that. I just want to make more animals. And no matter where I've been at in my life, whether I've had money to do it or was trying to make money to do it, or sometimes even when I couldn't afford it, I just always wanted to breed animals. So, as time goes by, the dogs, we hit a rough spot with the dogs, and the economy hit a rough spot, and I failed. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it, but just straight failed breeding dogs. Well, at some point or another, actually, I know when. We actually just done me and Craig just done a YouTube video on this last week about Weston Winter.
That's right.
Wildfire retics, and he had talked me into buying some boas at some point or another. So Craig just flashed a business card.
Business card from Weston on
YouTube. Anyway, long story short, I ended up with some boas, ended up with some retics along the way. I bred those here and there. Nothing really crazy, we made some albino boas. And granted, this was 20 years ago, so albino boas were a big deal.
That's right. Yeah,
we got some we done some retics, just several different species, but unfortunately I just started failing in life all around. Ended up losing some jobs, just never was in a really good place. And I'm not scared to admit it, I just was not making any money. Therefore, I didn't feel like that I could keep animals the way they need to be kept.
So that's what Tony's always been good about, is he won't eat himself just to make sure his animals are fed. There's there's been a time where I was, a lot of people don't know it, but there's a lot of times where I didn't have a house, I didn't have anywhere to live. I stole food out of the grocery store to eat.
Jeez, man.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I dug food out of the dumpster to eat. I mean, I've been there. I know what it's like. But because of the way I was raised with my parents, you just pick yourself up and you just keep on going. You do what you gotta do to survive. And just because I failed so many times in life doesn't mean that I'm a failure. So anyway, I finally was able to land some decent jobs. Started making some decent money. Ended up, just making life a little bit better. Well, naturally, okay, I'm paying my bills. I have a little money in the bank. It's time to get some more animals. I have that desire and passion to have animals, so I started getting more animals. And that led to picking up a Mojave. That's what it was. I ended up picking up a Mojave ball python. And what Mojave is a genetic mutation of the ball python. And somehow or another, I ended up with several other ball pythons. I said, hey, let's see what happens when you breed these things. I ended up breeding them. I ended up making money off of them. And I just took that money and just kept rolling it back into investing into more animals. I got more animals, I got more racks, I got more feeders.
Did you realize how big of a community and following that people had with breeding snakes? Did you?
Absolutely not. At that point, I was just like, hey, I can make a little bit of money with this, selling some local stuff, selling to pet stores. So we ended up doing, a couple $100, couple $1,000 off these clutches. I realized, hey, we can continue to make money every year doing this. If I buy more of these animals, I can have more clutches, which a clutch is a group of eggs that a female lays.
Sure.
And, we can hatch these eggs, we can make money. Well, naturally, with my mind of breeding animals and my instincts for wanting to make money, I'm thinking in my head, how do I invest this money correctly? So I ended up getting in touch with what is now one of my best friends in the industry, Matt Shiflett at American Made Exotics. Ended up messaging him, buying a bunch of animals from him, and he just helped me a lot to get going into the ball python market.
Sure.
And through that, it's just escalated. I mean, it went from a clutch a year to 3 clutches a year to 12 clutches a year to 20 clutches a year to 50 clutches a year to 70 clutches a year.
Oh my goodness. So how many snakes do you have currently? Like,
it's kind of like we're probably like 1/3 of the year through our hatchlings, and this has been a really good season for selling. So we've sold a lot of animals already.
That's right.
We're probably at the facility right now, not including Craig's facility, just in my facility, probably 250, 270 animals.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago, we had a really good season. We done 78 clutches. I think I bred 95 females in there with 78 clutches.
That's a good percentage.
Really good
that's
percentage.
a large percentage.
So I was, really fortunate that last year I think we done 73 clutches, so a little bit less, but about the same amount of females. I think I just got really lucky for 2 seasons there, and ended up just having a low season this year. Some of the females, we usually breed them a year or 2, and then give them a year off. So a lot of those females probably just didn't want to go this year for whatever reason.
Yeah, that was
Pretty much. So, but the clutches that we have produced, The first couple of clutches we had for a year really had some bad luck on, genetically and sex wise, and really had a hard time getting going this season. But the past couple of, probably past 10 clutches that we've had, we've been really lucky with. We've hit some decent odds, so it's going to be an okay year, just not quite where I wanted it. But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's right.
When you're dealing with animals, that's just what you got to pay.
Yeah. Right. Do you ever want to do this business, Craig? Do you ever want to get out of the car game and start breeding snakes?
No, Tony does this business. It's my hobby. You know what I mean? So
right.
you know,
God, this is my hobby.
Yeah, this is your hobby.
I have, you know, if it goes to something greater, then great.
You know,
I'm having fun with it.
I have fun doing it, and he's teaching me a lot about it. This is my hobby. So I have a cool collection, and then if I breed something, well, this is really cool. You know, what can I do with this? And he goes, do this, do that, do that, do that. So like he was talking about, his friend was his mentorship. Going through. I'm getting into the hobby. He's my mentor into it. You know, teaching me the ways to do things.
Right.
And you have to have that.
Yeah.
You can't go into this blind.
Yeah.
Right. No
I mean,
direction.
well, technically you can, because I believe anybody can do anything that they really want to. But
Sure.
Having somebody there that can really show you and guide you along the way is crucial.
Yeah.
Or so, if somebody wanted to start doing this, what kind of advice would you give someone that is interested in doing this and wants to take that next step of faith or that next leap? What would you?
So I get asked that actually quite a lot. One, can you afford to spend money? Because if you can't, then
It's the wrong hobby for you.
this is the wrong hobby for you. Because
Might as well just keep one as a pet and
just
stick
keep
there.
one as a pet
That's right.
and stick.
Maybe two, and that's it. And just
Yeah.
kind
You know, do your thing with a couple of pets. If you want to breed, it's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you a lot of money.
of right.
We spend a lot of money every year just on maintenance.
Shit, we spend a lot of money every week just on getting supplies.
Don't be scared to spend money, because you're fixing to have to spend it.
Sure.
And it's going to be a long time before you get some of that money back.
That's right.
A female ball python usually takes 3 years before you see eggs. So let's say you invest $1,000 into a breeder, a nice breeder quality female. You're going to sit on that $1,000 for 3 years.
That's right.
It's going to happen. So, one, you can't be scared to spend money, and two is whatever gene or morph or whatever you want to call it, ball python that you like. No matter if it's really popular right now or if it's not popular, whatever you want to produce or whatever you want to have in your collection, buy it.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
It's like when we did pit bulls.
Don't be afraid to give
Everybody wanted the little short squatties.
Yeah.
The little short squatties.
Yep. Still do.
Still do. Next thing I know, I come by the house and there's a tall blue dog, and I was like, "Look at that thing!"
Yeah.
You know, I was like, "That's awesome."
I don't like the short squat pit bulls. I
So
never have.
the bloodline he ends up coming up with almost looks like a miniature master. I mean, just gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, because he followed his own path.
Right.
You know, and that's
And that's how I've made it in this industry. Is I've bred particular animals together, especially with the blackhead gene or blackhead morph, that has produced things that the world has never seen.
That's really awesome.
So
To go from where you started out to now you're being an influencer through the whole community, man.
he makes really cool stuff.
I don't like to be. I don't know. I don't like to think of myself as somebody that's higher than anybody else, because I don't feel like I am.
Right.
But in all reality is yes. Yes, I create things that the world's never seen before, that I'm proud of, that people want to invest money into because they want the same thing.
Sure.
And that's been a huge reality kick for me the past year or two. People are looking up to me as to what's happening next in the ball python world.
That's right. Because I think about 2 years ago, before I kicked him in the head and started making him do YouTube. You know what I mean? I don't want to do YouTube.
How was that like? Has that helped move things along?
So YouTube let me just say this. I hate it. I hate YouTube.
He's like me when they made me start videotaping for the first time at work. I'm not doing this. Yeah. Cassie loves it. It's Cassie's YouTube. That's what we keep telling people.
My wife Cassie is the sole reason, the only reason that I do YouTube.
That's right.
Well, good for her.
I begged him for a solid year. I'm like, we need to do it.
I think we finally just pulled a camera out and
Just started going.
I don't know what happened.
I think the first one was a live video that we did, and Tony's like, "We're gonna pull the clutch out." I said, "Okay, I'll go live." And we're like that, and I go, "All right, Tony, so pull the clutch." He's like, "Really?" And I was like, yeah.
He's not a fan of the live fight.
He's not a
I
fan.
don't. I mean, I like my snakes. Everybody thinks it's funny too. Even when I'm cleaning and working with the animals, it's dead quiet in the facility.
Yeah.
I mean, all you hear is the incubator kicking on and off, and
you're moving stuff around, man. That's about it.
That's it. I love it.
Well, it's peaceful to you. It's your.
It's kind of I think of myself as like a wolf. You know, I love my family. I protect my family, but don't mess with me. I don't like to be messed with.
Yeah.
So letting a camera come into my world
That's completely foreign to you.
That's right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
You know, and it's taken a lot of getting used to. I don't know. It's a struggle. It's a real struggle for me on the YouTube.
But you're doing great with it. You're warming up.
You're helping him. I've seen you.
Craig,
you're making strides.
Yeah, Craig definitely keeps us going with this because if he wasn't, I'll be honest, if Craig wasn't there, YouTube wouldn't be there either.
Oh, wow.
Because everybody he brings. I'm always serious. I'm down to earth. I like to tell the facts. I like to tell you like it is. If you got a problem with that, I don't really care.
He's a straight man.
You know.
You're a straight shooter, and you can bring a little levity in.
Craig brings in the factor of okay, that was funny, or this is what the rest of the world really sees. So he needs to ask these questions so that the rest of the world can answer or can relate to that.
Sure.
And sometimes that's part of our problems.
Because you're so like us with cars.
Hey, what's up?
So hey.
Thanks for watching Hardwired Exotics and make sure you subscribe. Bye!